What's going on, guys? Balkan Architect here, and today I'm super excited because I'm finally launching my new course. So my new course, it's called Site Design and Coordination in Revit. It's going to be available on my website, balkanarchitect.com. I'm going to include the link to it just below this video in the description, and then also up in the cards above. Now, I'm really excited because it took forever to complete this course because I wanted to include so many things that are important for both site design, creating topography, different methods and approaches to creating topography, and also so many different hacks and workarounds for those things that unfortunately we don't really have tools in Revit to do the job. So, well, then we have to find a workaround. Now, the entire course, it's 10 hours and 45 minutes long, and it covers pretty much everything you need to know about site design and coordination in Revit. Also, there is an extended trial for an amazing plugin for Revit topography, and I'm going to be talking about that a little later on in this video. First, I just want to start and go over the entire curriculum of the course so you know what's included, and if you decide to get the course, you know what's there. And also one more thing, it's obviously going to be available on my Patreon page for all of my patrons, but keep in mind it's going to be released 1 hour each week for the next 12 weeks. Now, this course, it's divided into 9 different chapters, and then each chapter has individual lessons, and individual lessons have 1 or more videos. The first chapter, it's dedicated to creating site, and not only just kind of the regular tools for creating site from scratch, but also how to create the site from imports. So importing CAD or dot files or CSV files and so on. And I actually don't just show you how to use a regular surveyor plan, I show you different types of data that you might get. So 3D CAD, 2D CAD, different types of information, and then how can you kind of extract the site in the fastest possible way according to the information that you're given. So no matter what you get from the site or from the surveyor, you will know how to generate that into Revit topography in the quickest possible time. So that's the whole idea behind this first chapter. And then, of course, just all of the regular site design tools in Revit and how to apply them in the kind of in the best way, and what's the best workflow for using these tools. Then we move over to Chapter 2, and Chapter 2 is just all of the additional tools and settings that we have when it comes to topography. So that's things like the building pad, the property line, how to create parking, and then also some additional tools that are really important, like phasing or graded region, and how to introduce phasing to topography, and then some things that you might not think about, but when you get to that, Revit doesn't really have a tool for that, so there is obviously a workaround, and that's things like water on site and stuff like that. So I show you all of these kind of perhaps atypical situations, but through that we learn how to figure out different creative ways of utilizing Revit tools to get it to do what we want it to do. Then, for the third chapter, that concentrates on Hardscape. So Hardscape, as the name would imply, talks about or is everything on site that is, well, hard. So that would be things like concrete, like asphalt. So your roads, your paving, your sidewalks, curbs, perhaps some retaining walls on site. So I show you all of that, how to create roads that perfectly follow your topography, how to create retaining walls, how to create sidewalks, curbs, pretty much everything, how to set everything up, how to have really good paving, and so on. So that's what the third chapter is all about. The fourth chapter is all about coordination. So this is one of those topics that is really important. It's not fun, it doesn't look good because it's something that's kind of very technical, but it is extremely important, and that is coordination. So I explained the whole kind of complicated Revit coordination system and how Revit looks at coordinates, so you will know and understand what's the best way to perfectly position your building on the site. That's one of the most important things about your site plan, the correct positioning of your building. I show you how to set up the kind of all of your coordinates, how to position your house or your building in space, but not only in 2D but also in 3D. So the proper elevation in relations to the sea level, that's also something that's really important. And then also I show you how to link up projects properly by using shared coordinates, how to link up one building on your site, or what to do in a situation where you have a site and then you have to link up multiple different projects with multiple different buildings on that site. And then you might have a vegetation project, so only the trees and vegetation of that project is in a 4th or 5th or 6th file, and then how to link that up as well. It does sound complicated, and it tends to be complicated, but we kind of slowly go through everything, so you will develop a complete understanding of how coordination works inside of Revit. The 5th chapter is dedicated to railing on site. Now this might sound weird because what does railing have to do with the site plan? But actually the railing tool, or well, railing, has the ability to be adapted to the elevation of the site. So it follows the curvature of the site, and it follows that perfectly, and it adapts to that. So the railing tool can be implemented for numerous different uses for your site. So you can create your fences as railing, you can create barriers for the road as railing, you can create the markings on the road as railing. So there are numerous things where you can implement the railing tool to get the job done when it comes to site components and site elements. This is why we explore how the railing family operates, how it operates in relations to the site, and then how to build your own complicated railing families in order to be used on site. Next, we have underground structures. Now this might sound like something that doesn't require its own chapter, but actually underground structures are next to impossible in Revit, just because the topography tool is quite limited when it comes to building underground and then having topography above your structure. So I've dedicated a whole chapter where I show you numerous different workflows and approaches where you can kind of work around Revit's limitations and have your buildings actually be underground, which is something that's a big requirement on many projects. After that, we move to the 7th chapter, and that is graphics and schedules. So presenting your projects and pulling data from your projects, or in this case from your topography. So how to create your site plans, how to present your site plans, and also how to pull data and all of the different schedules which you can pull out of your site plan, and also how can you create or place all of those important kind of all of that important site data. That's also really important. You know, your property, the property area, the building area, and all of the calculations that go with that are really important. All of those kind of property parameters that need to be included on pretty much all projects. And then we come to the 8th and 9th chapter, which are dedicated to the environment plugin. So this is a plugin dedicated towards site creation and topography and generally kind of landscape architecture inside of Revit. Now, as you've noticed from the kind of just reading out the curriculum of the course, a lot of things when it comes to topography are workarounds, and when it comes to site design. So in situations like these, inside of Revit, we have to rely not only on Revit's tools, but also third-party software in form of plugins and add-ins that add additional tools and tool sets that help us out. So the environment plugin is one of those tool sets that are perfect for, in this case, site design inside of Revit. So I've actually worked with this company in the past, and I have shown you some of their tools and features, and when I found out about them, I was really impressed, and we decided to work on this course as well, where they've actually sponsored this course. Now, what that actually means is that they have paid to obviously have their plugin be part of this course. They have 2 chapters dedicated to this plugin, but on the other side, you get this course for a much cheaper price. So this being a very, very large and complicated course, I would probably charge anywhere from $90 to $100 for that. But because of their collaboration and because they decided to sponsor this course, the price is only $59, which I think it's much more affordable, especially for the amount of content and information that you're getting. I think it's an amazing deal, and I'm really happy to be working with them. And for this 8th and 9th chapter, you will get an extended trial period. So by default, if you go to their website, you get a 2-month free trial. But if you purchase this course on my website as a one-time purchase or as a payment plan, in that case, you get an extended 3 months of a trial period just to be able to complete the course entirely and play around with their toolset afterwards. Also, they have decided to give a coupon code to all of my viewers. So if you go to their website, I'm going to link it up in the cards above and then also obviously in the description below. If you use the coupon code Balkan Architect, you will get an extended 55 days on your subscription. So if you get a subscription to their plugin, you'll get an extension of 55 days completely free by using this coupon code, which I think it's an amazing offer. And for the last few chapters where I show you in the first chapter, or in the that's the 8th chapter, I show you just how to use all of the tools in this tool set, how they're meant to be used. And then in the 9th chapter, we put everything together and create a workflow where we complete an entire public space project, step by step, and just show you the entire workflow by implementing this tool set. And now, also, really important thing to note, project files are included for each step of the way, so you will be able to follow this course from the beginning to the end. The project files are in Revit 2020, so they will be able to work if you have Revit 2020 or newer, so just keep that in mind. And if you're using an older version, you can always just follow along and create your own project files as you complete the course. So there you go. I'm really excited about this. Please tell me in the comment section below what do you think about it. Will you be getting the course? And also, do you like the curriculum? Do you like what's included? And do you think it's a good offer? So I'm always interested in getting your feedback on these things. And of course, don't worry. In the next video, so in just a couple of days, I'll be back to my regular Balkan Architect content. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back soon. Have a nice day.